I'm going to say with like a tentative, nervous optimism that I think sales are on the rise. February, I'm not going to lie, we're talking about the last couple of weeks of February here, last week of February, first week of March in this video when it comes to sales. February was rough, but March seems to be looking pretty good.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body buttons for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I'm a part-time reseller on a variety of reselling platforms, as you're going to hear about in today's video. And in this video, I am going to be talking about 2 weeks worth of sales. I've been really bad about doing my one video a week when it comes to what's sold. I just have not been finding the time to make them, and sales have been really slow, so really the 2 weeks combined makes like one video's worth of content. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that sold for me, including how much I paid for the items, where I picked the items up, how long I had to sit on them, all that good stuff. So if you enjoy seeing what's selling for other people, definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And if at any point you feel like you're learning something really great, then make sure you hit that like button as well. So we're going to go ahead and start with talking about the week of February 21st, which was the 21st through the 27th. This week in particular, I kind of feel like I vaguely remember just not being super motivated to list and just not being super consistent in a lot of the reselling things that you should do in order to be successful as a reseller. So sales were kind of rough, but let's jump into them. So starting with Monday, which was February 21st, I had a pretty good sale to start off the day, and it was this new with tags Good American black denim pencil skirt in a size 10. Good American, in case you don't know, is the denim line by Khloe Kardashian. It has a great following. I actually have never tried their jeans on for myself yet, but I've heard that they fit really well. They're very flattering. They're just very well made. These I picked up at a local consignment store because they were running a pretty big sale, and my average cost of goods that day was $4.25 per item. So $4.25 into these, they sold for $50. I believe that was just an offer that was sent to me. So after you consider Poshmark's 20% fees and my cost of goods, my profit on that skirt was $35.75. Like I said, a really great way to start the week. And I will pay honestly up to like $25 on Good Americans, because usually I can sell their jeans for like 50, 60, in that range. This was my first time trying out a skirt, and I was not disappointed. And it helped that it was new with tags. The next thing to sell was this pair of Torrid black bombshell skinny distressed elastic waist jeans in a size 14R. Those sold for $25. That was using Posher VA, who sent out offers on my behalf about 4 to 5 minutes after someone liked the item. So they did also get a shipping discount of $1.50. I had $3 into those. Where did I get those? I don't even know. I think I got them at a local consignment store as well. So my profit on those after all of the shipping discounts, fees, cost of goods was $15.50. Torrid denim can also do really well. Not as good as like Good American, but it's a pretty good mover. It's a great bread and butter brand and a great denim brand in general as well. And then moving on to eBay, I sold this Malay, don't know if I'm saying that right, Gabrielle blue chambray smocked strapless maxi dress in a size 1X. This I got in, it says I have $1 into it, so I think I got it at a local consignment store when they were having like a huge sale. This sold for $24.99. I did have the buyer pay for shipping, and so my profit on that was $22.75. That was only listed, I want to say, for like 2 weeks maybe, so it sold pretty fast. The next thing to sell was this pair of Under Armour black fitted softball pants in a size small. Softball pants have been selling, and I know as a high school choir teacher, it is softball season now in high schools. I don't know about like at the collegiate level or whatever, but this is when softball starts. So I actually just sold a pair of softball pants maybe a few days ago as well. If you have any laying around, it's kind of a random thing to have in your home, but if you have any, list them now. So these sold for $19.99. They were promoted at 3%. I made a profit of $18.41 on those. And those were given to me for free from a friend at church whose daughter played softball. And then I did have a Facebook Marketplace sale this week. It was this Asics blue quarter zip athletic lightweight pullover in a men's size large. That sold for $12. I hit 80 cents into it because I got it a long time ago when I shopped in bulk at this local consignment store during the height of COVID. They let me shop by myself in their storage unit, and I was just stuffing big black garbage bags full of clothes and shoes. And so my average cost of goods for clothes from that trip was 80 cents a piece, which is better than bins pricing. So I made a profit on that of $10.40 after having that item for many months and close to 2 years. So not like the best flip of my life, but hey, it finally sold. Moving on to Tuesday, which was February 22nd, just Poshmark sales. The first one being this pair of mauve gray straight leg jeans in a size 33. These I got in a men's bulk thread up box. I have never picked up or sold mauve before for resale, so it was good to try it out. That is one of the things I like about thread up rescue boxes. Like, I mean, first of all, it's always a gamble. You never know if you're going to get good stuff or not. And second of all, you're sent a lot of stuff that maybe you would not have picked up on your own had you seen it at the thrift store or something. But it does force you to learn about brands that maybe you've turned your nose up at all the time. This brand Mauve, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen it at the thrift store before. I feel like I've just passed on it, but I was forced to take a chance on it, look it up, and I learned that it's actually a pretty decent brand. These had some flaws. There was some wear on the hem. There was just some issues with it. It still sold for $25. So after fees and my cost of goods, I still made $17 on them. And they were not listed for very long, definitely under a month. The next thing to sell was this pair of Roots green pull-on casual sweat shorts in a size 2T, so 2 toddler. Roots, I believe, is a Canadian brand, and these I had purchased on, I want to say Kitizen, for my son to wear. So he wore them a lot, finally outgrew them, I listed them, and they sold for $11 on Poshmark, so I made a profit of $8.05. I love moving my kids' clothes onto new homes. There's just something about knowing that the memories I have preserved in those little articles of clothing will continue to live on in someone else's home. I think that's really cool. The next thing to sell was this pair of Banana Republic non-iron tailored slim dress pants in a men's size 31. I got a $12 offer on these, and I was very excited about it and definitely accepted because I had gotten them in a men's thread-up rescue box. So I had $3 into them. There was a lot of weird stuff happening on the butt. I don't know how to explain it. There was some interesting stitching, and maybe some of that stitching had just come undone. I don't know, but it was weird. It wasn't like stains. It was just something kind of wrong with the fabric. So I accepted, and I made my profit of $9.05, and I'm moving on. I can invest that $9.05 into some better inventory. The next thing to sell was this pair of Mountain Hardwear activewear soft shell pants in a size 12. Y'all, I've had these for a long time. So these, I got a $32 offer on, went ahead and accepted because these are really winter pants. And, even though it was February 22nd, that's like the tail end of winter. And usually at that time, people are shopping for the spring. Plus, I've had these for close to a year. I got them in New York when I went to visit last summer. I went to visit my best friend. So I had $7.99 into those, lots of months where they were listed, and I finally made my profit of $17.61. Mountain Hardwear is a great brand. It's a great outdoor brand, great for hiking and camping and fishing supplies and whatnot, that sort of thing. But I don't know, these just didn't move very quickly. And I may have priced them a little too high, but I don't know. Moving on to Wednesday, which was February 23rd. On eBay, I sold this White House Black Market metallic silk tank top in a size 2 extra small. This I've had listed for maybe 2-3 years. It's been a long time. A friend of mine gave this to me for free from church as well. It sold for $19.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. I had free shipping on it. It was promoted. And so I had a profit of $13.07 from that item. I believe that item I even, sent into ThreadUp at one point. They tried to sell it. They weren't able to. I got it back. I relisted it. I mean, it's gone on quite the journey, but I'm just happy that it finally moved. White House House black market is like that. Like, I feel like it sells for a decent amount, but it does not sell quick. So, if you're willing to sit on things for a while, White House black market is going to be your best friend. But I have grown to really hate this brand. I don't know. The next thing to sell was this pair of Talbots, the Perfect Crop Coral Mid-Rise Career pants in a size 4 petite. These I had $1 into as well because I got them at a local consignment store when they were just running a crazy sale. How did the sale work? I don't remember, but yeah, it was $1. They sold for $24.99 with the buyer paying for shipping, and I made a profit of $21.21. Amazing. The next thing to sell was this Tory Burch green short sleeve polo shirt in a size small. They did have like the intense gold buttons, going up the front right here at the chest. This sold for my full asking price of $29.99. It was promoted at 3%, and I had $1 into that. And so my profit on that was $18.99 because of the fact that I had free shipping on it. This I picked up 3 years ago. I picked this up a long time ago at a Salvation Army in a town where I take students sometimes for like a music festival. It's like all state choir, whatever. And I remember going to this Salvation Army because they had this crazy sale where all of their clothes were going to be $1. I was in there for 5.5 hours and I got a ton of stuff, including this shirt, because I never find Tory Burch in the wild. So I got really excited about it. But it had a lot of washwear. It was honestly pretty dingy, like not in the best condition. And I was like, maybe someone will just want it for the buttons. I don't know. But I've had this on this rack, which is like, this rack is all stuff that needs to get steamed. I've had it on that rack for like over a year. Like, I just was not motivated. I would keep putting items in front of it because I was like, no one wants this shirt anyway. But over winter break, when my parents came to visit from Seattle, they like steamed through the whole rack for me. So I went ahead and got it listed. Within a couple months, it sold for $30. It's ridiculous that I let it sit around for so long. So thank you, Mom and Dad, if you're watching. Thank you, Oma and Appa. And I have $19 to show for that shirt now. So that my moral, of the story for you is, if you have an item that you've just been putting off listing for whatever reason, get it listed. Let it make you some money. Stop letting it take up space in your home. And let me know in the comments below if you have any stories like mine where you just didn't get around to listing something for forever for whatever reason, and you finally did, and it was a pretty quick sale and you made some good money on it. Let me know. I want to hear. I feel like it'll be motivating for me. The next thing to sell was another Talbot's piece. It was this red scallop neck short sleeve sweater top in a size extra large petite. This sold for $19.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. I had $1 into that one as well from a local consignment store. My profit on that was $15.83. Y'all know I love me some Talbots, and you know that I just really consider it one of my best bread and butter brands. And I do have a video that I will link down in the description below with a list of 10 bread and butter brands that you can sell exclusively to make $1,000 of profit a month. I really think you can if you're smart about what kinds of pieces you source by that brand or by those brands. And I have all of that information in that video. And like I said, I will link it down below. I think it's a really good one. So Talbot's is definitely on that list, spoiler alert, but it's a great brand. Mercari, I sold, this was a great sale. I sold this vintage Matadorn suede removable fur lined full zip bomber jacket in a men's size small. This, maybe 2 times ago when we went to visit my in-laws, my mother-in-law likes to clean out her closet and just kind of show us stuff that maybe I can take home with me so that I can resell. That time she gave me like 2 Burberry jackets. She gave me this. She gave me a ton of great stuff. I listed this high. I listed it for $150. And on Mercari, they do this thing called smart pricing where you can drop the price of something slowly until it hits the floor price that you designate for the item. And for this item, I had said, okay, I'm comfortable going as low as $100. So this sold on Depop actually for like $125. I was so excited. I accepted. And then, within the hour, it sold on Mercari for my full asking price of $100. So I was like, ugh. And I was in the process of canceling the Mercari order because the Depop one had come in first and it was for more. But then the person on Depop was like, can you cancel this? I found it on Mercari and there's something wrong with my card here on Depop and blah, blah. I was like, there's nothing wrong with your card. You just found it for cheaper and you want it at the better price, which, that's my fault. Like, I should have maybe not dropped it to $100. There's no information about this coat as far as comps are concerned. I didn't know if I had it priced too high, and I'd just rather move it, which is why I was like, I'm as comfortable going as low as 100. I was still fine with it. I canceled the Depop order, although I don't even know if I canceled it properly. I just gave him his refund, but I still keep getting these things from Depop that are like, did you ship this? And I'm like, no, bro, like whatever. So if you know what I should do in that event on Depop, please let me know. But I did, go through the sale on Mercari. My profit was $86.80 on that item. So really cool that I had no money into it. It was just a really cool bomber jacket that I think my father-in-law used to wear a lot and love. He just doesn't wear it anymore, so I got to sell it. I'm going to scoot over because I'm just now realizing I'm probably making it really hard on myself to put the graphics here of the sales. Moving on to Thursday, which was February 24th. Again, I had a couple eBay sales. The first one being this Burton brown layered graphic long sleeve t-shirt in a size extra large. It was one of those like Sheldon Cooper type shirts where it's like a short sleeve over a long sleeve, but it's built in, like the long sleeve isn't a full, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Burton is a great snowboarding brand. This one, the screen print on the front did have some severe cracking throughout. So, I did price it a little bit lower. And when I got the offer of $15, or what is it? No, it's $11.50. It sold for $11.50. I was fine with it because, like I said, there were some issues with it, some washwear as well. And I only had $1.02 into it because it was something that I got when I bought out a reseller's inventory not too long ago. So I had a profit of $8.25 on that item, and it sold really quick. I want to say within the week that it was listed. The next thing to sell was this Volkswagen camper gray graphic short sleeve t-shirt in a size extra large. This one sold for $19.99. It was promoted at 3%. I had $2.24 into that. I got it at a local thrift store, so I made a profit of $10.07. I knew I wasn't going to make a killing with this, but I don't know. I saw it and I was like, I just need to take it home with me and give it a new chance at life. I just thought it was a really cool shirt. I don't drive a Volkswagen or anything, but it's the second Volkswagen piece that I had picked up in the span of like a month or two, and both have sold at this point. So I guess I'm not the only one with a soft spot for that brand. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and it was by the brand Balance Athletica, and it was a collaboration that they did with Vitality, and it was called the Affirmation Cropped Hoodie in a size large in like a beautiful white color. This sold for $51. It got so many likes as soon as they listed, and it took me forever to get it listed. It was actually part of a bulk mixed women's thread up box. I think I got like 100-pound box or something. I mean, it wasn't one box. It came in like 4 boxes, but I ordered like 100 pounds of women's mixed clothing. The majority of it was honestly kind of a disappointment, but this was definitely one of the highlights of the box. I had never heard of this brand, Balance Athletica, so again, just another reason why, although sometimes those thread-up boxes can be a lot of work because you're getting a lot of stuff that maybe you don't care for and you wouldn't list if it were up to you, you do get sent things that you're like, oh, what is this? And you get to learn about them, and Balance Athletica was definitely one of those. So if you see this out in the wild, it's definitely a brand worth picking up. This sold for $51, and I had $2 into it because that was my average cost of goods for everything in those boxes. So I made a profit of $42.12. I am like sad to think now that maybe I've passed on this brand in the past because I just didn't know what it was, or maybe I thought it was like New Balance or something, but Balance Athletica, add it to your list. On Friday, which was February 25th, I had another Facebook Marketplace sale, and this was a local sale. So it was by the brand Sapphire, and it was like this Pakistani Pret embroidered floral sleeve tunic in a size medium. There wasn't a ton about this brand or this style, but when I did try to look up comps and do some research, I learned that it was a very popular maybe brand or style in Pakistan. I'm not exactly sure, but it sold for $20. That was what the person asked me about in regards to the price over Facebook Messenger. She was like, would you be comfortable with 20? I think I had it listed at 25. I was like, sure, because I only had $1.02 into it because it came from part of that inventory buyout. So I made a profit of $18.98, and we just met right outside the school where I teach, kind of on like a side street. So we were in public, and It was super easy. She had the cash, I had the top, we swapped, and we went our merry ways. So I do like doing those Facebook local sales if anyone inquires about them, and that was a good one. The next item was a direct sale. It went to a viewer, and of course I didn't write the name down, but I will put it right here. Thank you so much. It was this pair of J. Crew joggers in like a gray color in a women's size extra large. These came to me in my most recent like wholesale palette purchase that I made from a fellow reseller and friend, and those she purchased from me for $25. I feel like I offered her less and she was like, no, 25. And I was like, okay. And you're going to see that happening in the next week of sales too, where we're doing direct sales. I suggest a price and people are like, no, that's too little. And I'm like, I mean, I just want you to get a good deal, but thank you for wanting to support me. I do really appreciate it. I had $3.92 into those joggers because that was my average cost of goods for that wholesale pallet. It cost $5.49 to ship, and so I made a profit of $14.02. On Saturday, I had one sale, and it was on Poshmark. It was this new with tags J. Crew faux wrap. Oh, it was a bundle. So the first item was this J. Crew faux wrap origami metallic skirt in a size 8. I had 80 cents into that because that came from the big bulk buy that I did at a local consignment store a long time ago. I purchased that to send into ThreadUp because that's when I was like heavily sending things into ThreadUp. They accepted them, they just weren't able to sell them, so they sent it back to me, which is when I listed it, and after a few months it finally sold. And the next item in this bundle was this Anthropologie Mauve Mayola paisley lined pencil skirt in a size 8. I had $3.75 into that from a local consignment store. So in total, the two pieces sold for $50. I had $4.55 into the two of them. What is this Oh, maybe there's like a shipping discount. I don't know. But I made a profit of $32.77 on those two skirts. Skirts are like so hit or miss for me in terms of selling them and wanting to pick them up. I don't ever go to like the skirt section of the thrift store. I will look sometimes at consignment stores, but they're one of those things, they are really easy to list for the most part. They're really quick to photograph and whatnot. I just feel like not as many people wear skirts. I don't know. So sometimes I, do really well with them. Sometimes I sit on them for forever. That J. Crew one especially, I did sit on for quite some time. Let me know how you feel about skirts down in the comments below. And then on Sunday, which was February 27th, I had a good sales day. And if I can figure out why, I will let you know. But on Poshmark, I sold this pair of Nike Golf Tour Performance Blue Polka Dot pants in a size 8 for women. Those sold for $18. I had $4.50 into them from a local consignment store. And so I made a profit of $9.90, which is not a killing. But I will say that this is a really great time to be listing golf gear. If you have, any golf apparel, or I've never sold a golf club in my life, but if you have that kind of stuff, people are itching to get out on the course and golf. So if you have any of that stuff, make sure that you're listing it. I know I have a ton of golf polos that I got in that inventory buyout from a local reseller, so I am getting all those up and listed right now. The next thing to sell was this Madewell beige open front knit cardigan in a size small. This again was from that big bulk buy that I did at a local consignment store. I only had 80 cents into this. It went to ThreadUp. They accepted it. They couldn't sell it. I got it back. I sold it for $25 and made a profit of $19.20, which is way more than I would have made through ThreadUp anyway, so I'm happy with how that worked out. The next thing to sell was this City Chic black smocked off-the-shoulder dress in a size extra large. This is, again, a brand that I learned about because of ThreadUp. I got it in my bulk mixed box. I kind of wrote it off as a whatever brand because, to be honest, the label looks kind of cheap, but a lot of you in that unboxing video left me comments saying City Chic is actually a pretty good brand. It's a great bread and butter brand. Like, don't write it off so quickly. So I did some research and found out that people were absolutely right and realized that I have been passing on this brand a lot in the past. So when I saw it at a Goodwill near where my in-laws live, I went ahead and picked it up even though it was $7.99 because of the fact that it was a size extra large. It sold for $30, so I made a profit of $16.01 on that. Pretty happy with that, and it sold very quickly. The next thing to sell was this pair of Mila Pauli gray thong, what does this say? Braided slip-on sandals in a size 9.5. Those, I got at the bins. I was like, where did I get those? I got those at the bins in Indianapolis. They sold for $20. I made a profit of $14.73. You know, it says that they were made in Italy. I always fall for that. Just because something is made in Italy does not mean that it's gonna sell for a ton. But I was happy with the profit, and whoever bought them said that they were exactly what she was looking for and that they were so comfortable and, you know, sure to become her go-to shoes for the summer. So happy about that. The next thing to sell was over on eBay, and it was this Anthropologie Achemian Kin white yellow crochet lace yellow sleeveless top in a size small. That one sold for $24.99. I had $4.92 into it from a local consignment store. I made a profit of $8.80 after it was listed for probably a handful of months. Anthropologie, it's definitely one of those hit or miss brands. Some things can do so well, but very basic pieces like this, you know, they're usually not really worth picking up. The next thing to sell was this new with tags Southern Athletic purple cutoff activewear top in a size large. This I got in a thread-up box of men's clothes. I put it out to auction because it's such a whatever piece. I think honestly it's one of those things that people can purchase and put their own like team name or whatever on it. It was just like a blank, but I put it out to auction with a starting bid of $2.99. It got the one bid. I had $1.31 into that item. That doesn't sound right, but that's what I wrote down. And so I actually lost 18 cents on that sale, but I moved it. I like to think that it helped with the eBay. Whatever. Yeah, it is what it is. The next thing to sell, I also lost money on because it was also an auction item, and I got the one bid. It was this Jeffrey Bean Sport black lined pencil skirt in a size 6. I got this in a thread up women's bulk mix box, the same one that I've kind of been talking about. This sold for $2.99. I got the one bid. I had $3 into that one, so I lost $1.32. Woot woot. Moving on to Mercari, where I had much better sales. The first thing to sell was this Marc by Marc Jacobs Natasha black nylon purse, and it like folded over. This one sold for $51, and so I made a profit of $44.12 because that actually was something that my sister-in-law gave to me to resell. The logo was a little bit faded, and it was so weird. I've had this listed for months now. I mean, at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. It didn't really get like a ton of attention, but in this week, I would get so many questions about it, and I don't know, and it's not like I relisted it. I didn't do anything to it, but it just started getting a lot of attention randomly, and then it sold. The next thing to sell was this new with tags Polo by Ralph Lauren white and black striped pullover sweater in a men's size medium. This is something that came to me in a men's thread-up rescue box. It sold for $30. I had $2.99 into it, so I made a profit of $22.84. Polo Ralph Lauren is another great bread and butter brand. I used to kind of like turn my nose up at it and was like, this is whatever. It actually does pretty well. The next thing to sell was another Anthropologie piece, and it was this Maeve Sarin polka dot squared pleated skirt in a size large. So again with the skirts, this sold for $19. I had $4.50 into it from a local consignment store. I made a profit of $11.75. Let me kind of take you through the breakdown of how I did throughout the week. On Poshmark, I sold 11 items for a net profit of $192.57. On eBay, I sold 11 items, so same as Poshmark, for a net profit of $135.56. Here's what is shocking. On Mercari, I only sold 5 items, but my net profit was $207.63. And it's because I was selling items for more money over there. I was selling, that vintage suede coat, that Marc by Marc Jacobs purse, that Balance Athletica hoodie. I mean, it was a great week for Mercari, and that is why, my friends, I cross-list. I cross-list my items over to a bunch of different platforms, and to be honest with you, all 3 of those items, I would not have pegged Mercari as the platform that they would sell on, but it just goes to show, you never know where something is going to sell, and that's why I like to put my items on as many applicable platforms as possible. I personally use a Chrome extension called This Perfectly, and it's not just a tool that you use for cross-listing. listing, but it's also what I use as my inventory management system. It does a lot of really great things for my reselling business, and is one of the only things that I use on a daily basis. So if you want to try out List Perfectly yourself, first of all, I have a ton of videos showing you how I use List Perfectly, so I will link that playlist down below, but also I have a coupon code where you can save 30% off of your first month of List Perfectly, and I will put it right here. It's just Becky Park, and with that, like I said, you can save 30% off of your first month of List Perfectly. Definitely worth trying. They have a little bit of a free trial too, where you can just like test it out and get your money back if you don't love it, but when I tell you that it is one of the best things that has ever happened to me in my reselling business, I mean it. So moving on to Facebook Marketplace, I had 2 sales for a net profit of $28.36. I had 1 direct sale for a profit of $14.02. So in total, I sold 30 items for a net profit of $580.01, which feels amazing because all throughout February and January, I feel like my profit has been like in the 300s, which is really sad for me considering that my goal is to hit like $833 a week. And I think maybe there's 1 week where I've been able to do that since the start of 2022. And a lot of it is because of all of this stuff that's happening that is outside of my control. You know, there's obviously the war in Ukraine. There is astronomical hikes in gas prices, inflation. We're up against a lot. And that's why, you know, in this video right here, I talk about how I'm really focusing on just selling the things that people need. I'm, you know, not like I was selling a lot of like luxury items before, but I mean, I'm not even concerned with that at all right now because I just feel like the average American who shops on reselling platforms and buys secondhand is not concerned with buying like Chanel and Christian Louboutin right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even utilizing the smallest fraction of my brain in trying to source those kinds of items because I just don't think that that's the season that we're in. So those are my sales for the last full week of February. So moving on to the first week of March, and I gotta try to get through these quickly so that I can leave for church on time. But on Monday, which was February 28th, that was the last day of February, on Poshmark, I had a couple sales. The first one being this pair of Potro Salvaje, or maybe just Salvage. I don't know how to pronounce this. If it's Spanish, Potro Salvaje, tan leather ankle slip-on ankle boots in a size 8.5. I got those at the bins in Indianapolis. I sold them for $34 with discounted shipping, and so I made a profit of $24.21 on those. And those were a little beat up, and they were listed for some time, but they finally found a new owner and are living their best life, I like to think. The next thing to sell was another pair of booties. These were by the brand Bowden, which I love. Bowden is a great brand. It was this pair of blue leather ankle booties. They had like a contrast of yellow on the back. When you unzipped it, you could see. I thought they were so darling. These were in a European size 40. They sold for $42. I had $1.50 into them because I bought them from a friend of mine who was moving, and I just bought out all of her inventory, and that was my average cost of goods for everything was $1.50. I made a profit of $32.10 on those boots, so very happy about that. Over on Mercari, I sold this Nike running dry fit half zip long sleeve pullover in a size extra small for women. That sold for $17. I had $1.02 into it because I got it from the local reseller buyout. So I made a profit of $13.49. I know I talk about these like quarter zip or half zip pullovers from Nike running a lot because for whatever reason I've been coming into a lot of them, but they are really quick sellers usually, and you can usually get between that like $18 to $25 range for those. So if you're happy with like a $15-ish profit, I mean, I think those are a good pickup if you can get them for cheap. The next thing to sell was this pair of Under Armour black performance golf shorts in a men's size 42. So again, with golf stuff, that sold for $16. I had $3 into them from a local consignment store. So I made a profit of $10.64. I did have 2 direct sales this day from the unboxing video that I did of stuff in the wholesale palette. The first one went to Angeline. So Angeline, thank you so much. She got this level 99 floral denim jacket. I mean, I thought this was beautiful. I showed this actually in my thrift A through Z video, in a collaboration video that I did with a bunch of people who take my course on how to grow your reselling YouTube channel. And this was what I used for letter L for level 99. gorgeous. So I sold it to her for $30 shipped, and so I made a profit of $16.67 once you factor in, you know, shipping and my cost of goods for that item, which was $3.92. So Angelina, I hope you love it. I hope it's what you were expecting, and I would like to see some pictures of you in it. Please post on Instagram because I think it's just so darling. The next thing to sell was from that same thrift A through Z video, and this went out to Sabrina. It was this pair of Banana Republic blue printed pants. They were like kind of wide leg, almost like palazzo pants. They were so beautiful and so cool. Like, I don't really think of Banana Republic as being that fun and, you know, just bold prints and whatnot. You know, it's pieces that are great for the office, but these are perfect pants to wear like on vacation or to a resort or something. They were just so fun. And I had a lot of people actually reach out about these pants, but Sabrina asked first. So I sold them to her for $28 shipped. She did tell me that she was in Canada.
Many minutes later.
Okay, like 8 hours have passed since I started filming. My battery just died on my camera. And so, you know, it died. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just live my life then. So I went to church. I came home. I did some gardening with the kids. It was actually such a wonderful day. But now here I am to finish this video. I also changed my clothes. This is a shirt from the Cha-Cha King YouTube channel / Instagram. Scott, who's a wonderful person, reseller, and friend. He's actually, he used to be a superintendent, which is really cool. So we have a lot of just commonalities in terms of what he used to do for a living and what I do now for my full-time gig, which is teaching. So it's really cool to just kind of connect and talk with him. But he sent me this, and it's such a cute shirt. I'll show you. There he is. It's the Cha-Cha King, and it is really soft. It's like a really nice shirt. So wanted to just shout him out. I will link his channel down in the description below. Make sure that you give him a follow and subscribe and all that good stuff. I think I was talking about these Banana Republic printed pants. They went out to Sabrina. That's right. I was talking about these pants because I initially was like, oh, I'll just sell them to you for $25 shipped. And she was like, no, that's not enough. She's like, let's do 30. And I was like, okay, because she lives in Canada. I forgot how much it costs to ship to Canada. I used Pirate Ship. It cost $21 to get these shipped out to her. Yeah, so that was a lot. It was a little bit of a sticker shock, and I had $3.92 into them. I still made a profit, don't worry. Like, Sabrina, please don't feel bad. You are the one that was like, you need to charge me more. I did make a profit of $1.31, and I got these into the hands of someone who's amazing, and I know that they will be enjoyed by them, but wow, I did not know that it cost so much to ship to Canada. Now I do. Somehow this pair of jeans from Lou and Gray did not make it into my notes, so I thought I would talk about them here, but these also sold on the last day of February. Like I said, they are from Lou and Gray, which is kind of an offshoot or like a sub brand of Loft. These were the skinny embroidered raw hem jeans in a size 25. They had really beautiful floral embroidering all over them, which is why I was like so excited to like get them and list them, and I thought they would do really well. They did not. I've definitely had them for over a year, and I finally let go of them for $17, and after my cost of goods, which I believe was about $5, I made a profit of $8.30. I do personally tend to stay away from Lou and Gray just because I don't find that it does super well for me. So moving on to Tuesday, which was the 1st of March, and you guys, March is going to be my month, okay? January and February were, but March is where it's at. Okay, so I had one sale. We did not start the month off very well. I had one sale on Poshmark. It was this H&M light gray black double striped knit sweater in a size medium. I had $3 into this because it came to me in a men's thredUP rescue box. It sold for $8. I got the offer for $8 and I was like, yes, please, you can have it. So I made a profit of $2.05. So, you know, like not the best omen, but it does get better. So moving on to Tuesday, which was March 2nd. Nope, that's a lie. Wednesday, which is March 2nd, I had one Poshmark sale, which was this pair of Express skinny khaki pant chinos in a men's size 28. Those sold for $18. I only had $1 into them, so I made a profit of $13.40. I don't remember where I got them. I think it was at a local consignment store, but only $1 into them. On eBay, I sold this Fila Sport Golf Athletic Fit polo shirt in a size small, again with the golf stuff. That sold for $9.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. I had 80 cents into it because it came from that big bulk buy at the local consignment store. I made a profit of $6.58. On Mercari, I sold this Anthropologie Faye, which is one of their house brands, not like one of their better ones. It was this floral sleeveless scoop neck tunic blouse in a size extra small. This I got in the reseller like wholesale pallet buyout. So I had $3.92 into it. It sold for $12. I made a profit of $6.23 on Mercari. But thankfully, that one was only listed for a handful of days. And then I had a Shopify sale. You guys, to be honest, am having all sorts of issues with my Shopify store. It's an issue with cross-listing from List Perfectly, and there's like a perfect explanation for it. I'm pretty sure I know what I have to do. I just have not done it, and so I haven't really been listing new stuff over there. But someone reached out to me on eBay and was like, hey, I purchased these on your Shopify, but I'm not getting any notifications of if if the store is even running still. Do I need to purchase them here instead? And I was like, oh my God, let me go check. I think he emailed me about it on like a Friday or a Saturday. And so I checked on my Shopify. Sure enough, on Wednesday, there had been this sale and the email about it had gone to my spam. So I don't know. There are just like weird connection type things. Even typically when I get sales in Shopify, I will get a notification through the app on my phone, and I didn't. So I just need to go in there and clean things up. And this is a perfect time to do it during spring break. If you have any Shopify tips, please leave them down in the comments below. It is, I don't know, it's not a very intuitive platform, so I'm having a hard time with it. But over there, I sold this pair of Vince Noble Gray wool blend lace-up shoes in a men's size 7. They were basically new, and they sold for $90 on Shopify. I had $2.99 into them because I got them in a men's thread-up bulk rescue box. I think it was 100 pounds of men's clothing. It cost $8.45 to ship them out because I do free shipping on Shopify. So I still made a profit of $75.65. That was a welcome surprise. I'm really glad that this guy found me on eBay as well. Maybe it's a viewer. I'm not sure. If so, thank you so much. And I mean, even though I haven't super duper been updating my Shopify very often, it is probably where you can get the best deal from me because I list things 20% lower there than I do anywhere else, and I have free shipping. So definitely check it out. If you purchase anything from there, you are purchasing maybe an older item of mine, but something that I'll be really thankful that you got off my hands. So there's that. Moving on to Thursday, which was March 3rd, I had a couple Poshmark sales. The first one being this new without tags Cabby Frolic Plumberry Crochet Lace Skirt Suit in a size 6. This sold for $50, which was my full asking price, and I had $2.81 into it. My friend G1 actually sourced this for me. She went to a local consignment store that we like to hit up pretty often, and this was before she was reselling seriously. Like now her and her husband are like for real resellers, and I'm so proud of them, and it's really cool to watch them growing their own reselling business. But at this time she just liked to source but like didn't want to list, and so she got this suit for me. It took months to sell, and when it did finally sell, and when I went to List Perfectly to delete this from all of my other platforms, I realized I never got around to cross-listing this to other platforms, which is why I had to wait so long. So I ended up making a profit of $37.19. It probably could have, would have, should have sold a little faster had I, cross-listed to other places, but I'm happy with the sale, and now I can move on with my life. The next thing to sell, this was a great sale. It was this pair of vintage LL Bean flannel lined relaxed fit jeans in a men's size 35. I had them listed for $60 on Poshmark, which to be honest is way too much. And actually I think I had them listed for even higher because there was a shipping discount, which means that this was a Posher VA sale. They sent out an offer on my behalf. After a few minutes had passed, I had $5.06 into those from a local consignment store. They just had all these really great vintage jeans like LL Bean, they had Eddie Bauer, they had some Wrangler, some Levi's, some of them, flannel line, some of them not. And I got all of them and they were priced a little higher, but my average cost of goods for that trip was $5.06. I've had these for a while and I kept meaning to go in and lower the price because really that's too much to be charging for these. But they sold and I made a profit of $41.22. I think generally these can sell between that $35 and $50 range. 60 is a little bit unheard of, but I'm happy that I never got around to dropping the price and that they sold anyway. And then on eBay, I sold this Zara gold gilded bucket shoulder bag. This was something that I got at Zara for my daughter a while ago. She would play with it and use it every once in a while, but it's been years since she's reached for it. So I was like, I'm listing this. And she's like, okay. So it sold for $14.39. I believe I had some sort of sale running. So I made a profit of $12.72, which is probably not what I paid for it. I probably paid more for it, but to make some of that money back is great. Moving on to Friday, which was March 4th, on Poshmark, I sold this Ann Taylor blue V-neck long sleeve 100% cashmere sweater in a size small. That I got from my friend when she moved and I bought out her inventory. So I only had $1.50 into it and it sold for $28 after being listed for a few months. I made a profit of $20.90. I had it listed around $35, I want to say. Got that $28 offer, was super happy with it. 100% cashmere, regardless of the brand, it'll do pretty well. The next thing to sell was this pair of Athleta gray Ponte knit moto pants in a size 4. I had these listed for $50. I think someone sent me an offer on these for $15. So we had quite the back and forth, quite the counter offer war. But it was closet clear out that day. So I said to them, listen, I can drop the price to $28, which is my absolute lowest, and then you can get discounted shipping on Poshmark's time as well. And she was like, fine. So we did that. I had $4.50 into those. I made a profit of $17.80. $17.90, and they were not listed for too long. I probably could have held out for a higher sale, but we were still kind of on that struggle bus this week. I still wasn't making very many sales, so I was just trying to move things and recoup some of my money. On eBay, I sold this Rampage, not a great brand, blue halter triangle bikini set in a size extra small. This is an old piece. It's actually something that my friend from church gave to me for free. It sold for $7.99 with shipping. I was so excited that it sold. I made a profit of $6.77. The next thing to sell was this pair of Lululemon blue cropped leggings with a striped denim slub print. They were kind of strange, to be honest with you, in a size 2. I had purchased these a few years ago on Poshmark for myself, but I don't ever reach for them anymore because I have a lot of newer leggings and I don't know. I just never really liked how they fit and stuff. So I sold them for $19.90. That was the offer that I sent out to watchers. And so I made a profit of $16.72. Older Lululemon leggings, especially the cropped ones, they are hard to move. I mean, they will sit for a long time, and you're kind of lucky if you can move them in that $20 to $25 range, just because they're such old styles, and people are just not looking for those anymore. So just because something has that little Lululemon logo does not mean that you should pick it up regardless. Chances are it could be something that sits for a while, and you definitely want to make sure that you're not overpaying for those items. Moving on to Saturday, which was March 5th, on Poshmark, I sold this Anthropologie Maeve navy and white chevron dress in a size 8. That sold for $30. I had $9 into it from a local consignment store, and so I made a profit of $15 after it was listed for a few months. I mean, I'd say close to half a year. So again, not a quick flip. I probably did not need to pick that up for $9, but I did, and I did make some money off of it. On eBay, I sold this pair of Nike Dry Fit black long, that's not what that says, compression shorts. They were running shorts in a women's size medium. These sold from an offer that I sent out to watchers of $15.90. I had $1.02 into them because they were part of the local reseller buyout, so I made a profit of $11.65. Nike was doing really well for me. And then the last day that we'll talk about in this video is Sunday, March 6th. I only had Poshmark sales, the first one being this pair of Adidas cropped athletic high-rise pants in a size youth large. Those sold for $17, and that was with discounted shipping because that was a Posher VA sale. That was something that I got for free from someone at church, and so I made a profit of $11.88. Those I do think were listed for like a good number of months. So not a quick sale. A lot of kid stuff really isn't, but I'm happy to finally move them. You've heard me talk about Poshmark VA a few times at this point. It is a Chrome extension that will share your closet for you. It will send out offers to likers for you. It just helps you be a little bit more hands off with your Poshmark closet, which is really nice because if you do all the things manually that Poshmark kind of forces you to do in order to find success on that platform, you are basically sitting in front of your computer giving yourself, what is that called? The thing, like tennis, the carpal tunnel syndrome. Like, I swear, I have carpal tunnel syndrome. It started from when I would sit there and share my closet all the friggin' time. And so if you're not about that life, Poshmark VA has been a godsend. And I will have a coupon code down here so that you can save 20% off of your first payment of Poshmark VA. So definitely try that out if you are still sharing your closet manually. The next thing to sell was this Cacique, which is the Lane Bryant Intimates line. It was this black Comfort Bliss lightly lined bra in a size 40 triple D. This actually sold to a viewer named Shelly, and Shelly was so sweet. I, just had Poshmark VA running that day. Typically, when it's a Friday or a Sunday, I will turn off the option to send out offers to likers because I want to send out my closet clear out message, because there's this whole thing that I do, and I will link that closet clear out video down below if you want to learn how I take advantage of that feature on Poshmark. But it was just such a busy day. I remember that Sunday. And so I was like, I'm just going to let Poshmark VA keep sending out offers for me. And Shelly actually was like, well, what if you just drop the price to $20 and then I could get discounted shipping and da-da-da. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. And so I did that. She saved a little on shipping. I, sold it to her for about the price that I was going to anyway. I had it listed at $25. I had $4.99 into it because I got it at a Goodwill near my in-laws the last time that I went. And I think that was my first time picking up a Cacique bra, which I know a lot of people have a lot of great luck with. So I made a profit of $11.01, and that was only listed for a couple of weeks. So Shelly, thank you so much. And yeah, it was a great sale. The next thing to sell was this pair of Dansko Mila black crisscross woven leather slide-on sandals in a size 6.5. These I sold for $30. I picked them up at the bins in Indianapolis, so I only had $1.66 into them. So I made a profit of $22.34. They were in really great condition. I love selling Danskos, especially if I can get them at the bins. Are you kidding me? So let's talk about my numbers for the first week of March. On Poshmark, I sold 12 items. That was for a gross sales amount of $365, which if you factor in Poshmark's fees and any shipping discounts that I offered, which I did offer quite a few, that total drops to $285.49. My cost of goods for those 12 items was $36.29, which left me with a net profit of $249.20. On eBay, I sold 5 items. Just so you know, all of my eBay figures and total figures will be a little bit off because of those Lewin gray jeans that I forgot to include while I was doing my numbers. So what you see written is correct. And that was for a gross sales amount of $68.08. Once you factor in eBay's fees, that total drops to $56.66. My cost of goods for those 5 items was $4.01, leaving me with a net profit of $52.65. On Mercari, I only sold 3 items, and nothing was as amazing as, my Mercari sales from the prior week, but I had a gross sales amount of $45, and once you factor in Mercari's fees, that total drops to $38.30. I had $7.94 as my cost of goods, and so my net profit from Mercari was $30.36. I had 2 direct sales as a result of my thrifting A through Z video. That was for a gross sales amount of $58, but as we talked about, my shipping, because I paid for shipping, was quite a bit, as well as some PayPal fees and whatnot. So the total dropped to $25.82, like basically cut it in more than half. And then my cost of goods was $7.84, so I made a profit off of those 2 items of $17.98. I had 1 Shopify sale for a gross sales amount of $90. Once you factor in Shopify's fees, that total drops to $84.10. I had $2.99 into it, and so I made a profit of $75.65. And I do think that also accounts for shipping, if I remember correctly. So in total, I sold 23 items. That was for a gross sales amount of $626.08. Once you factor in shipping, discounts, and platform fees, that total drops to $490.37. I had $59.07 as my cost of goods for those 23 items, and so my net profit for the week was $431.30. So in the month of February, I made a total profit of $2,148.81, which is more than $1,000 short of what I'm trying to earn per month in order to hit $40,000 as my net profit for the year 2022. I am not on track to do that. So, right now I should have made like close to $7,000, but year to date I'm only at $5,654.54. So there is still time to make up that ground. I'm trying to list more, but to be honest, I have a lot of kind of like lower priced items that I'm listing, so I'm trying to mix it in with some higher pieces, but we'll see what happens. All you can do is your best and just kind of continue learning and growing and making better decisions, and I'm definitely in that boat of trying to do those things right now. So like I said, March is looking up. There are a lot more sales than what I was seeing in January and February, and I do hope that that trend continues. So let me know how sales are going for you. I hope that things have picked up ever since Poshmark did their little algorithm change, and I don't know, I just hope the dust is settling and that everyone is doing well. So if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows this is a great video to also recommend to other sellers just like yourself. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe. This is your last chance to do so from this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!